Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I'm really excited about this week and talking about a life lesson that was very, very important that we forget, Romans 8:28. And before I tell you what that is, wanted to share a few things. But before I do, my disclosure here. Everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I am a financial advisor, but I will not be giving investment advice on this podcast. So please do not call my office and say, hey, you told me to buy this stock. You told me to do this. No, I did not. I am not recommending anything. But if you like investment advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. I am going to bear this out, guys. I have crazy allergies. I have seasonal allergies. If you have any recommendations for me, email me at info@cortezwm.com. I'm allergic to dust and bahia grass and hay. So I just learned that from my ENT doctor. So yeah, I if I look terrible, is because I'm a little under the weather with the seasonal allergies. But I will not let that stop me from doing a podcast, especially this week. This week's very important. We have a lot of things going on that I want to bring to your attention. We've received a lot of phone calls when it comes to your 401ks, and I kind of want to set the air straight here. Let's talk about that. If you have a 401k, you do not own your 401k. You don't own the money in your bank account. You are actually, if you have a 401k and you're 50, 55, 60, you're going on, you're worried about the next market crash. You see the market coming down. You see the volatility index going up and down. You have a right. You have a right to get scared. You have a right to acknowledge your feelings and your discernments based on your past experiences. We totally understand. We know it sucks to be 60 years old, 65 years old, have $500,000 and be all wiped out all the way down to 150,000 because somebody says something on Twitter, or there's a Chinese banking crisis, or there's just some type of crazy inflation. Guys, whatever it is, you can only put the blame on yourself. You are responsible for your own happiness. You are responsible for everything in your life. No one is anywhere to be blamed except for you. So let's not play victim card, and let's take responsibility when it comes to our marriage, when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our health, when it comes to our faith. Let's take responsibility. And so that's what today is all about, is just taking responsibility. China's got their own crap going on. They have more banks collapsing than they ever had in over 5 years in one day. Over 40 banks have collapsed in 1 week over there. They're going through a hailstorm, a really, really bad one. That's their problems. They have commercial real estate problems. As you know, just 2 years ago, Evergrande, which is like their Blackstone, which is the largest real estate developer, went belly up. The New York headquarters one did too, as well as the Chinese headquarters. There's some serious ish going down. There's some stuff going down here in America with inflation. Last year was inflation. This year is the labor market. Do we have enough jobs? Are all the jobs taken away? Are we bringing enough jobs back? We have a huge situation, guys, that we have to prepare for. I'm going to bring up charts. I'm going to show you the market updates and what I think is happening. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about J-Proof. We'll talk about green money. We'll talk about gold and silver. We'll talk about the volatility index. We'll look at the banks. We're going to formulate our own opinion. We'll even check out the dollar. But there's some manipulation coming down. I had told you guys about the stupid Fed that they might even raise interest rates while we're trying to get the rates down, and we're going to make a boatload of money on TMF. Again, not investment advice. Invest responsibly. Have a licensed advisor. The whole disclaimer. I'm not recommending TMF. I'm just saying if your bags are packed with TMF, you might be getting paid quickly and soon. At your own risk, obviously. There's so much stuff going on, guys. Like, really. I mean, I could tell you all the things that are happening. But we had a lot of phone calls this week, and I just want to clear the air, man. Like, you don't own your 401k. Just because you've worked there 10, 15, 20 years does not mean that 401k is yours. It's called an employee-sponsored program, an employee contribution program. It's not a defined benefit plan, also known as a pension. Back in the day, they used to give you a pension and a nice gold Rolex watch when you retire. 40 years down the road. They don't do that anymore. Now they do what's called a match. They say, you know what? We're going to help you contribute to your 401k. And we're going to call it a company-sponsored contribution plan, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, it's all ordained by the ERISA. ERISA is the Employment Retirement Income Securities Act. And so ERISA is a part of the DOL, Department of Labor. Now, follow me here. If your retirement plan is actually set in accordance with the law of the federal government, do you actually freaking believe that they have your best interest? We've seen the Real ID. We've seen what Real ID is. We've seen May 7th come in fruition, the Real ID. We've seen the social credit score literally happening as we speak right now. We've seen Fed now literally track tracing, controlling your funds in any bank account. Like, you have a bank account that is CBDC already bagged up. You are in it, my friend. There's nothing you can do about it. Back in 2023, I told you there was going to be a cutoff. And you wouldn't even know that you are in a CBDC system because it takes about 5 to 10 years to implement something. As this idiot that I was talking to, this TSA agent, probably vaccinated and just completely corporate guy, thinking, oh, this is great. This clown was basically doing his job and doesn't have a brain for himself to really think what he's actually talking about. Real ID. Are you joking me? Like, we now can't travel without a Real ID driver's license? For those of you that haven't done the Real ID, a passport works. So you're safe there till your passport expires. So now you got to travel with your passport. So this is just an example. This is just like a test. Same thing with COVID. It was just a test to see who would comply. And if you comply, we know where you're traveling. We know where you're banking. We know what you're buying. Smart cities. We can surveillance you. We know exactly where you want to go. Oh, and your phone? We know that AI and ChatGPT is monitoring everything that you look, everything that you search for. So now we know your money, we know your travels, and we know your logic. Therefore, we can control you. Except the things that we do here at Cortez Wealth, this anti-CBDC. We're not funding the freaking Jews. We're not funding Iran. We're not funding Ukraine. We're not funding the gay Wall Street. We are funding your retirement. We are protecting you. I do not want to work with you if you don't believe or act or think the way that we believe in. I don't want to work with you. Is that cool to say? Like, I'm tired. I'm legit tired of working with fake freaking people that want to fund the stupidity that's on the street, that want to fund this faggotism that promotes passive demasculization of men. This is the freaking problem in America right now. Is even in the Christian church, we're weak. We don't want to stand up for what we believe in. We're afraid to get on the internet and talk about our feelings because of the jeets and the trolls and what people are thinking about me. The word of God says straight up, if you don't acknowledge me now, I can't acknowledge you in front of the Father. If you don't acknowledge me now in front of man, I can't even acknowledge you in front of the Father. It's time to put our money where our faith is, our money where our mouth is, our money as a steward. And I'm telling you, you will have Malachi 3 biblical rights. You know, when you tithe and you give to the church, it's not our responsibility on how the pastor spends the money. It's not our responsibility of what they do with our money. You've been literally covered in the veil of the Spirit of the Lord, biblically proven. That in Malachi 3, it says, try me in this. This is the only verse in the Bible that it says, try me in this. You know what? I can't say the word guarantee when it comes to investments and making stock tips and red money, but I can say guarantee when it comes to my faith. And I guarantee you, if you take up Malachi 3, what he says in Malachi 3, I guarantee you, you will not regret it. Well, I don't have money to give, Carlos. But you have time. And I promise you, if you give fruitfully, you will overcome this FUD that everybody is in. And it's just, I am a living testament of that. I was a poor Puerto Rican financial advisor. I was told in my face that Spanish kids don't know anything about Wall Street, know nothing about making money. My father was a welder, a blue collar worker. He was also a drill sergeant. We didn't make a lot of money. And then to give his time, he gave his time to the church, not for money, but to be a servant. And so growing up was really tough for me. My parents couldn't afford the Jordans. We couldn't afford the cool clothes. I didn't fit in. I didn't have $20, $30 to go to skate every Friday night with my friends. I didn't have lunch money every day. I didn't have those things. And it was tough growing up. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my father was rich, just not monetarily, but rich as a present father, rich in God's favor. And my son probably will never hear this, but I'm going to talk about my son. For those of you that don't know, my son has a language impairment. He was born a month early, so they call it early term. Just basically, he was a preemie, and then we made it to, with God's grace, 36 weeks. But he was trying to come out at 27, and we had to do some homeopathic stuff and just really, really bedridden. Sally, he was born early, and the doctor said there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine, but it will show up in school cognitively that he'll maybe a little delayed. And we're just happy to have a healthy baby. Well, he's never failed, but he's never had a summer school. He's always been behind. And he's always had to go to summer school. He's 12 years old now. The kid has a heart of gold. He loves hockey. Like, he loves hockey. And he's really good at it. And he's passionate about it. And I love it. I wanted to play hockey. My parents didn't have the money or time to, so I had to play soccer. And that's okay. They also told my father that he didn't make enough money for me to play hockey and to give it up. So my dreams were shot. I just wanted to learn how to play ice hockey and I couldn't. So I settled for soccer and I love soccer. And then I never pushed this on my son. But one day he comes up to me. He's like, yo, Pops, I want to learn how to play ice hockey. And I said, Nathaniel, I want you to really consider what you just said because if we go that route, there's no turning back. The way I do things, it's a lifetime sentence, dude. We don't half-ass anything. We go all out. We become obsessed. So if this is a passion that you want to do, you will get good at it. You'll be frustrated, but we're going to do the best and we're going to go through a lot of adversity. Anyways, I gave him the lifeline plan. I said, look, if you're going to do this, you're going to do this for the rest of your life or all the way up to college because it's going to be tough. Anyways, he started during COVID. He couldn't skate. Couldn't skate at all. And not that I was great. And not that I was an ice hockey player. I never played. And I said, Nathaniel, if you want to learn, I'll learn with you as well. So at 38 years old, I picked up my first pair of skates. Never played a game in my life. Maybe skated once or twice, but nothing good enough to be in a game. And I learned with him. 5 years later, I'm playing with former collegiate athletes. My son makes a practice squad with a travel team. 5 years later, he gets better. He's put his blood, sweat, and tears. He's getting really good. He has a shot for days, and he loves to hit. But something happened this week. Mind you, he's been practicing with this team for a year. The coach says to him, just on a practice squad, we're going to try to get you on the roster. Well, he makes the spring travel team, and we're excited. We go through all these tournaments in the spring. Still one more left. And then there's a tryout for the fall that just happened May 5th this week. He did not make the team. He's doing bad in school. Pretty much straight Fs. And it's not that he's a dumb kid. It's because he just doesn't learn in the prison public school system. Public school was designed for inmates. If you look at the history of it, and I don't mind public schools when they're in elementary, they're just basically learning 1 + 1. But once they start going to middle school, they start teaching this woke stuff. And yeah, you're done. You're good. So I've learned my lesson. We tried homeschooling, but with 4 kids and a busy schedule, we feel like we'll be giving our kids a disservice. And Nathaniel needs not like special needs, but basically what kids with language impairment and a cognitive delay or ADHD, they need a certain style of teaching, basically more hands-on. So long story short, guys, he didn't make the team. And I legit was crying Wednesday night. I legit was crying for him because it reminded me of all the no's I've received in my life. The no's that they told my dad that I couldn't play ice hockey. The no's that they told my father that I couldn't succeed in college or high school sports because he doesn't make enough. You see a lot of these kids that sucked played more than me because their dad was paying them a little money on the side, and my father didn't have that. So me, the kid, had to sit on a bench when other kids half as skilled would get all the time. Well, I ended up getting soccer scholarships my junior year, so I didn't have to play my senior year. And what's interesting is I'm seeing that now here. I'm seeing a Deion Sanders effect where you have this quarterback that's just as good as Cam Ward, that has the numbers. The kid literally threw for ungodly amount of numbers. But because of his father is a guy that you cannot control, a guy that is not funded by anyone else, a guy that will not give money for his son to play. Same with Nathaniel. I'm not the guy that's going to drink wine and play with your nipples and play with your you-know-whats to make you all feel warm. I'm not that guy. I am not an ass kisser or brown nose or whatever you want to call it. I will not be bought. They don't like that. So all these kids that made the team this week, I look at their parents. It's a social club. The kid gets hurt. It's a social club. It's a Deion Sanders effect. So, we have to understand that no matter what, Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things, not some things, but in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And we know in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So the rejection my son got was actually God's protection, because let me tell you what happened. For the past 2 years, we've known about Nathaniel's IEP. We've known about his struggles. We've known that he learns differently and that he wouldn't work in a regular traditional classroom. We get that. But it's also tough because the colleges recruit after these travel hockey teams that are very difficult to make and to pay for. It is very expensive. So Nathaniel gets literally the same week that he told no. And here's the list. His name is not on the list. And it was devastating because there was like 100 kids trying to make this team. Like 40 kids trying to make this team. Well over 40 kids, sorry. And he didn't make it. He didn't make it. He has the skills to make it, but he didn't make it. You riddle me that. You tell me why. It's a head scratcher. Some weird stuff, man. All good. He gets a call from Ness Hockey Academy, and now he's offered a spot there. And this is a school, a Christian private school that only brings hockey players. And all the coaches are professional athletes, former professional athletes. We're fighting for a Kia, and God blessed us with a Lamborghini. I'm just blown away. As soon as I got the phone call, I immediately take Nathaniel out of school. I asked the dean over there at the hockey academy. I said, "Can I just pull him? Like, there's no point in being in school." Mind you, Nathaniel has never had a summer before. Guys, I'm in tears. I'm in tears rolling up to the school that looks like a prison. I said, this is the last time he'll ever be in a prison public school system. And this is my video, man. Like, this is raw. This is real. This is just me being out there. And it's such a huge testament that in what we believe is right for us, that we don't get, we cry and we ask God, like, what the heck? Like, I deserve this. And he smacks us, says, child, sit down. I have something greater. Because Romans 8:28 says that in all things, not some things, in all things, work for the greater good for those that love him, that are in his purpose, that are in his will. Guys, I'm just so humbled. This kid literally will go every single day on the ice. It's an hour drive from where I live. He's going to get a private tutor. I, of course, have to pay for it. He's going to have his own, literally, a tutor go with him in a classroom so that she can basically translate into how he learns, and his accountability partner to make sure his work is getting done. And being on the ice with a school that loves America, that believes in the Pledge of Allegiance, that believes in the Word of God. And that is just an athletic phenomenon. The program is just an athletic phenomenon with all the coaches. And mad props to Nest Hockey Academy for taking my son. You'll get a lot of talk here. So people are flying all over to get into this school, and they made accommodations for my son. I'm grateful. All right, enough about that. I spent way too much time on that, but I'm just so thrilled and so excited. But let's talk about the charts. Before I talk about the charts, you guys keep asking about my driveway and the Karens in my neighborhood. Holy smokes. Does anyone else have problems with their HOA like me? Well, finally, after 19 months, they start laying pavers on my driveway. If you guys remember, during the hurricanes, I had all these trees. I had a swamp in my front yard. For those of you that are listening for the first time, I had a swamp in my front yard of my house. The guy that owned the home before me literally put a moat and thought it was cool to fill it up with like bushes, and like when it rains, it will just fill up naturally and come back down to the street. $180,000 later, and piping and all this permitting, and that includes attorneys and engineering surveys, and going back and forth with the city and revision plans. 2 years later, I'm able to lay the first paver. So I'm just so excited to have a driveway in the front of my house. Anyways, yeah, you guys were curious. Still a work in progress, but hopefully by next week, it'll be done, and we'll have some palm trees in the front, and I will be happy. So yeah, just a little snippet about that. Let's talk about where money lies, where money is currently lying right now. So as we look into the Dow, this is the Dow Jones, guys. We are starting to see some serious, interesting movements. Now, this is a year-by-year spread on this. This is going to shock some of you guys, but we are no longer in a bearish territory. We see down spiral, but overall the trend is up. And actually, let me go to my ADX. Let me switch this up real quick. So let's talk about the Dow real quick. Here we are with the Dow top of the Dow, bottom of the Dow. So we hit the bottom, right? We hit this bottom line here. And typically when we hit this this 50 here, it literally is kissing this 38 and a 26. So what's actually happening is you see these green momentum traffic lights. We are in a bullish market. But what I think it's going to happen is we're going to kiss this orange line, maybe kiss the red line even further. So we'll possibly be coming up to another bullish market. We're going to hit this line. It'll come back, or we'll trace. People will be like, oh, we got to buy the dip. It'll come back again. And then boom. Just tank. The markets are overbought. And we can see a head and shoulder here. So this is what I'm looking for. I think the market's going to be crashing by the end of the summer. We're going to be having a massive upswings in the markets because people are trying to, quote unquote, bro invest and buy the dips. So that's how I see it happening. Whereas we're going to see this come up possibly to this level, or new home, which will be top of the Fibonacci retracement that I just showed you. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so at the top there, we could see this puppy just literally repeat itself. It can come all the way up back up to here and just come crashing down. So for those of you that are in like XPXL, we'll talk about that. So that's the Dow Jones, guys. We can look at SPXL. SPXL is 3 times the S&P 500. And here we are. We got green traffic lights. It's going up. It's going up. We may even see it from 136 all the way up to 180, somewhere around here. Possibly 189. So it might be safe to throw a few bucks in SPXL. Maybe you buy a call option to 150. To 180. Actually, I'm sorry. Maybe you buy a close expiration 2 weeks out to 145, somewhere around there, and you should be in the money. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see where the contracts are at, and I'll probably talk about it on Tuesday. All right, let's do that. Let me take notes. Call options on SPXL. So I won't forget. Actually, I might even talk about it this weekend on my Rumble channel. If you haven't followed me on Rumble channel, please go right now. Stop this video. Go to rumble.com, Scriptures and Wallstreet, and follow me there. I always drop in some heat, like some good stuff. Like I might be with my family. I might just be in a mood to just talk 10 minutes. You see, I like just doing 10 minutes of just talking about stuff that you need to know about. It's hard for me to do a podcast because I don't remember everything. I have to write everything down. And a lot of it's energy driven. Like I got to have like the energy, the inspiration, the motivation to actually podcast. So I will just go live on my Rumble channel. We need more followers there. And thank you. I can't say your name, but thank you for the shout out. Thank you for giving us a call. We are growing like crazy. The phone has been blowing up, mainly about the 401k issue. They want to get out of Empower. They want to get out of Prudential. And if that's you, if you have the 401k issue, give us a call. We want to help you. We want to service you. But also call your 401k provider and just ask them, can I do an in-service withdrawal to my own IRA? That's all you got to ask. If you're currently working at your employer and you want to take charge, you want to protect your 401k with green money or any of our yellow monies, whatever. You want us to help you. All you have to do before you give us a call, just call your 401k custodian and just ask him, how much can I pull or roll as an in-service withdrawal to my own IRA? Whatever that number is, whether it's yes, no, or maybe, or half of your account or all of your account, then all you got to do is give us a call. The next call should be 813-448-3446 or CortezWM.com. You can book an appointment online. Tell us about what you found out, how much you can roll over, what state you're in, and we will help you. We will call you. I promise you that. We will call you. We'll get on Zoom. You'll see the same screen, same setup here. I will personally reach out. If that's you, if you really want help, we work with everybody. God-fearing patriots. You may not get me. You might get Josh. You might get my new advisor that I'm bringing up. It doesn't matter. You will get help. Do not worry about your minimums or maximums. We work with all types of accounts. We want to be able to help you. I am a big fan of leaving no patriot behind. There's an evil street out there, and $10,000 may not be a lot to you. It may be a lot to someone, though. $500,000 may not be a lot to you, but it could be everything to someone. It does not matter. We want to treat everybody the same way. And personally, I got NFL athletes, former athletes. I got doctors. I got attorneys. I work with the big monies, but I like helping the little guy because I'm still that guy. My father was a blue collar worker, barely made 70 grand a year growing up. You know, like 20 years ago, that was a lot of money, but not in the means of where the area I grew up. I grew up in Cary, North Carolina, where people were clocking dollars, man. And my dad wasn't making that type of money and had to work 2 or 3 jobs. So much information that it's not even financial. I got distracted here. So SPXL, look for this thing to pop. So let's talk about real quick Bitcoin. Man, I'm eating crow, bro. I am straight eating crow on Bitcoin. I said, yep, it's going to go to 64. And it went Kramer style, completely opposite. We're at 103 right now. Great time to just ride it out, man. Like, this is amazing. Bitcoin is amazing. I love Bitcoin. But we had this massive drop. And just the cycles of Bitcoin, like it just goes down 30%, 40%. And don't be surprised if it hits this high. Let me get my fib out. It could hit our top line again and come crashing down. It could just beat this resistance here and come scraping down. Like, that's Bitcoin. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, it's extremely volatile. But we have green traffic lights. I don't see anything happening right now. But long term, I still believe we're going to have like a 68,000 price point on Bitcoin, even if it surges. So we will see a retracement at some point. And these Fibonacci's are pretty accurate. So that's Bitcoin. For those of you that keep calling about J-Proof, not a lot of chart work on it because it's still new. It's only been like a month. We're seeing a negative pressure right now on J-Proof. Doesn't mean it's going down forever. It just means that people are selling their profits, taking profits, and running. Let's see here. So S&P is going up. It's crazy, man. Just like a week ago, I had all this stuff like bearish, and do not get greedy, because this is where the greed comes in. People are getting back in the stock market. So we see a little sell-off here, a little downward momentum. And we just got to be careful, because this is crypto. And I like the project. I like everything about it. But at the end of the day, it's still crypto. You need to understand that it comes in waves, big waves, 80% cycles. For instance, it hit 20 around Easter, 22 at its highest. and it just stabilized at 20, and then it came crashing down. Personally, I was at like 1.6 million and it ended up to like 380,000. I was feeling it, but it's also red money. Red money, guys. Will it ever come back here? Yeah, it will. But we're going to go through our troughs, our valleys. But this is not meant, this is red money, guys. This is not meant for people that want to build their retirement, that have retirement. Like, do not put your retirement in this. If you want to take some money out of your retirement and go to J Proof, I would only do 1 or 2% of your retirement. You can't buy an IRA and buy a meme coin, guys. Like, you just can't do that. You have to literally download the Phantom wallet and purchase J Proof. So I'm not recommending J Proof. What I'm saying is that this is a risky asset. I'll shoot you straight. If you put $1,000 in, right? That $1,000 could be worth $150,000 a year, 2 years from now. If you're willing to take that risk, then do it. But also be willing to lose $1,000 because it could go to zero one day. I highly doubt it, but that's the risk that you take with these coins. Now, Stu, man of his word, he's not going to rug pull. I own about 1% full disclosure, or less than 1% full disclosure. But it's pretty amazing how it has a 90 million, 100 million market cap. It went down to 40 million after that drop off in Easter and just kind of hung around there, that 25, 35 million space. And then it's just consistently over 50 million, a new floor, 90 million. And it can stay at 100 million market cap for a long time. So it's pretty powerful. Even though I got red traffic lights, I'm still pretty bullish on this. This is pretty cool. All right. Let's talk about what else did we get at phone calls on? I'm going to be talking about more options for you guys because I'm getting a lot of calls. People love the options play and they're making a ton of money. So I'm not going to talk about how to make money in a market crash. I want to show you some ideas with this bullish short-term lived market that we're in. Okay, so TQQQ, it's 2 times the NASDAQ, right? So we got not 3 bars, but we got 2 out of 3 once on my traffic lights. Short term's just not there. So we're still seeing a little bit of weakness. But look at this trend, guys. This trend is going up, and my lines are starting to turn green. My traffic light's starting to green. Momentum's going up. And the death cross was back in April. But pretty soon, as this will come closer, we're going to get a blue box and then a green box, and then boom, it'll take off because we'll have the golden cross. But notice on my scanner here, it still says bearish power. So we're being very cautious. Even though we're starting to see a trend coming back up, it could be a head fake, is what my software is telling me. Like, it can come up, and boom, come down. So talking about that Fibonacci number on my last chart with the S&P, it's the same thing with the NASDAQ. We literally could come up to this level and come right down. My software does not lie. The charts don't lie. And if it's saying a bearish power, we have a volatility index that's coming down. That means the market's going up. But once this volatility index goes up, that means the markets are going down. Average trade range on this is going to be about $4.13. So it's okay for this to move up $4. It's twice the QQQ. This is why it's called a leverage QQQ, also known as TQQQ. The downside of it is the inverse is SQQQ. It's the opposite. And so if we look, see, we got a death cross pattern. We got a death cross pattern going down. So that means the market's going up. pretty interesting how we only have one green traffic light and it's turning all red. It's been red because the market's been going up. So you can use the inverse to kind of help you decipher what the markets are really doing. Pretty amazing. So I like that. Also, I want to check out gold real quick. So gold is actually continuing to go up as there's more uncertainty in the markets. We got 3 green traffic lights. The markets are going up and they'll continue to go up. But look for a pullback here shortly. You see where it says none on the very top right of my indicators? Well, it's saying that it can't tell you there's not enough data currently right now where it's bullish. So that is a first sign of it coming actually down, is that there's no bullish power. There's not enough artificial intelligence and data and momentum and all the indicators that predict where it's going to say, hey, this is a bullish market. Even though it looks bullish and it's been up daggone 50% in the past 2 years, it's still going to go up, but it's not confident enough. My software is not confident enough that it can say we're going to continue to rise. It does have a trading range of $75.40. So it is extremely volatile, guys. When I'm telling you, when this goes down, it is going to come down dramatically. So be on the lookout, guys, for that. I just want you to be safe. Everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. So the major thing right now, guys, is that I highly recommend that you give us a call, talk about green money. Markets are going to go up and they're going to go down. But when they go down, unfortunately, you might lose everything on this next market crash. We have Chinese problems with the banks. We have problems with the banks here. We have Real ID. We have social credit score. We got a lot of crap going on. More importantly, we all voted for Trump, but we're noticing that he's becoming pro-Israel. And so we want to make sure that America is at really the core of everything. We have problems with Christmas this year. You might not see Christmas decorations because a lot of these decorations come from overseas. And if you look at this video, here is Rez walking their plant, and their plant is like 2,200 and I don't even know, over 100,000 square feet warehouses full of nothing but Christmas decorations, and it's completely empty because the tariffs. They're waiting on. There's a deflation going on in China, and they can't export the Christmas decorations. They're supposed to be getting Christmas ready now, preparing, and all the suppliers, they can't even have access to Christmas decorations. So be very careful, guys. Just prepare. You might need to start buying Christmas gifts really, really early, because the tariffs, if they don't fix this week, it's going to lag, and the supply chain is going to dry up. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know that this is what's going down. We knew there will be a war on tariffs. We knew there's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. But, if you go in a grocery store, man, prices are coming down. Eggs are starting to come down. Bread, butter, everything's coming down little by little. So I'm actually happy about that. But all right, guys, I'm not feeling well, and it's pretty late over here, or earlier in the morning. But I'm glad you're able to listen to us. Please go to rumble.com, Scriptures on Wall Street. Follow us there. If you like anything that I said today, go to CortezWM.com. We want to have a conversation with you. I will give you a copy of my book. I will personally help you out with your retirement. We will only want to work with God-fearing patriots. And if you're a phone person, you can give us a call, 813-448-3446. you also can go to americafirstretirementplan.com, download a free guide of our Color of Money. Also on the link below, there will be a podcast called The Color of Money. Before you give us a call, just take 15 minutes, take a gander out there and just look at it, see if it's a good fit before you give us a call. And also, if you have a 401k, do yourself a favor. And before you give us a call, ask, can I do an in-service withdrawal with my IRA? If yes, then give us a call. We'll help you with that dollar amount and we'll put it in a safe money bucket for you so that you're not victim of the stock market, so that you have the ability to retire effectively, safely, secure it, privatize it, and let it grow while you're pulling income and secure your future. Well, guys, I'm out of here. God bless. I also want to thank GetMeLeanUSA.com. If you haven't had the chance, get this stuff. It's amazing. I've lost so much weight. Mike, you can show my fat butt here, how huge I was till now. It's a game changer. There is a business side to it. If you want to share it with your friends and your family, there is an affiliate program. There's no pressure. You can cancel anytime. It's a subscription-based model. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get you some great animal / clean plant-based peptides, and they're all topical, really, really good. You don't have to inject yourself, and you know the craze with peptides. This is the God First, America's Second based company here in America. Very, very clean, high-tech company. They ship right to your door. So go to Get Me Lean USA. Get you some lean, some fit. Get your mind right, sleep right, get your health right, and you will not regret it, I promise you. You can cancel anytime, and they have such good quality products. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. God bless, and we'll talk soon.